EM25046. Emergency access to bank accounts. SSA policy expansion and benefit eligibility impacts. 1. Introduction to EM25046. Emergency Message EM25046, released by the Social Security Administration, SSA, on August 1, 2025, outlines a new and expansive policy allowing SSA continuous access to recipients' financial institution accounts. The document is targeted at internal SSA personnel but has become publicly accessible. The policy applies first to SSI age 65 plus allowances and is expected to expand to all categories of benefit recipients. Footnote: EM25046 sets the operational groundwork for unfettered SSA monitoring of benefit recipients' banking activity. 2. Affected population and stated intent of expansion. Initially, the policy applies only to recipients aged 65 and over receiving Supplemental Security Income, SSI, referred to as SSI-AI claims. However, the SSA explicitly states its intention to broaden the policy to include disabled recipients, immigrant claimants, SSDI beneficiaries, and retirees. The agency rationalizes the starting point with elderly SSI recipients due to the relatively low number of cases. Footnote: This section outlines the phased expansion from a limited demographic toward comprehensive financial oversight of all SSA beneficiaries. 3. Policy mechanics and resource threshold elimination. Under prior regulations, SSA would initiate financial account verification if liquid resources exceeded $400. EM25046 removes the threshold for age-based SSI claims, instituting mandatory AFI, access to financial institution, verification regardless of the claimant's alleged financial condition. For all other SSA workloads, the $400 tolerance still technically applies but appears to be an endangered species. Footnote: SSA employees are now directed to initiate financial checks regardless of asset claims, signaling a shift toward preemptive surveillance. 4. Implications of full-time bank surveillance. AFI access allows the SSA to conduct automatic, continuous, and geographically broad financial surveillance. Verification requests must now include all alleged accounts, geographic location checks, and relational searches, for example, spouses and household members. This move reduces SSA's exposure to improper payments, but introduces severe implications for claimants' privacy and benefit continuity. Footnote: The agency's stated intent is administrative efficiency. The byproduct is real-time disqualification for recipients with sudden or minor financial changes. 5. Potential for future legislative use of AFI data. While the SSA claims AFI usage is strictly for verification, the data architecture enables future legislation to restrict benefits based on resource levels. For example, retirees with home equity or liquid savings may be deprioritized in the event of a Social Security trust fund shortfall. As trust funds are projected to deplete within 7 to 8 years, full bank surveillance now could mean means testing later. Footnote: Although not currently law, AFI data infrastructure could allow Congress to reallocate benefits away from recipients with assets, regardless of their FICA contributions. 6. Verification instructions to SSA personnel. SSA field staff are instructed to request AFI verification before adjudicating any allowance for age-based SSI claims. If claimants appear likely to qualify, staff must initiate AFI requests early, even while continuing the adjudication process. If assets are verified above $400, full documentation of all financial resources must be pursued. Adjudicators are further reminded that all alternative forms of financial evidence must be thoroughly examined. Footnote: SSA employees are now obligated to treat early financial surveillance as standard protocol, effectively conditioning eligibility on transparent banking activity. 7. Use of bank data for eligibility enforcement. The policy specifies that AFI will be used to reduce improper payments and confirm asset thresholds in real time. Should claimants exceed thresholds, for example, via a $450 total in combined bank/CD accounts, they may be disqualified or assessed for overpayment. Thus, failure to maintain near destitution becomes penalized under the current operational model. Footnote: recipients exceeding minimal liquid resource thresholds risk loss of eligibility and retroactive overpayment penalties. 8. Projected ramifications for the SSA program structure. If fully implemented, this policy establishes a precedent for the SSA to monitor, audit, and condition payments based on financial behavior. In the long term, it enables dynamic enforcement of new benefit eligibility rules without needing to request claimant cooperation. Such structural evolution reflects the increasing alignment between federal benefits and automated compliance verification via third-party financial institutions. Footnote: the use of AFI prepares SSA for a future in which benefits can be dynamically adjusted based on real-time data from private financial institutions.